So Pearse, Sinn Féin are calling for a yes vote in the Seanad referendum. Can you tell us why?
Because the Seanad stands against everything that a true republic should stand for. The Seanad is elitist, it's out of touch, it's undemocratic. The vast majority of people who will have a chance to abolish the Seanad on the 4th of October will never have had any say whatsoever on the direction of the Seanad. Instead, it's left to people who have certain types of education. If you go to the right university, you have a say. If you're elected as a county councillor, you have a say. If you're the Taoiseach of the day, you can appoint your political cronies or your allies, like Bertie Ahern did in times gone by, the people who gave him defence when he was going through the tribunals, or the partners of people who gave him the dig out. That's the type of cronyism that exists in the Seanad. So the people of this state will be asked a simple question on the 4th of October. Do you want to allow this system to exist, or do you want to abolish it? For me, as a Republican, and very mindful that the next Seanad elections, if it is retained, will be in 2016, could never justify walking into a polling station and voting to keep this type of undemocratic, elitist institution in place. It is time, long ago, for the Seanad to be abolished. Now, eventually, the people will have their say on the 4th of October. I would ask people to come out and vote yes and take power back from the political system, from the politicians. Have your say. Reclaim the Republic.
Fianna Fáil are campaigning for a no vote. They're saying that if it's rejected, it'll force the government to look again and reform the Seanad.
Well, look, Fianna Fáil may change their mind again before election day, because it was only a couple of years ago, before the last general election, that they were campaigning to have the Seanad abolished, saying they had no sense or purpose in the future. But look, Micheál Martin was part of a Fianna Fáil government. They've served for over 14 years in the last term. We've had 12 reports on Seanad reform since the 70s, not one of them implemented. We've had a constitutional referendum over 20 years ago, and it wasn't implemented by Micheál Martin or his buddies in Fianna Fáil at that time. So, look, people shouldn't be fooled. Micheál Martin talks about political reform. You would, swear that he is the person, the great messiah of political reform. I remember as a TD and as a senator, when the people of Donegal South West were being denied their right to vote in a general election, Micheál Martin voted not once, not twice, but 3 occasions to deny the people of that constituency the right to vote. It took me, as a young Sinn Féin member, to take that government, Micheál Martin and his ministers, to the High Court, to the Supreme Court, to force them into allowing an election. That is the type of political reform that Micheál Martin has been part and parcel of. So the question is, do you trust these parties? Over the last decades, there has never been political reform of the Seanad. There is nothing to convince me that any of these individuals are genuine and sincere about political reform in the future.